We now present our second speaker today, Mr. Indroneil Mukherjee, a thoroughbred management professional, a respected leadership guru and coach, and an enterprise learning enabler of training. Who brings in around 25 years of multifunctional, multi-role experience in the industry. He has worked with companies of the likes of CMCs, Thermax, ICIM, and SAP. He is an established thought and practice leader in the realm of enterprise learning by introducing new approaches, frameworks, and methodologies which ensure tangible business relevance and measure impact of learning on business of the enterprises. During this period, he has touched and transformed lives of close to 5,000 individuals working across functions and responsibility levels, working with more than 50 organizations across the country as a group learning enabler and a leadership executive coach and mentor. Mr. Indroneil is a member of many associations and apex bodies like PIE, CII, and is a much sought after speaker. He also contributes regularly to various forums on various emerging business and related organizational trends and has been associated with several business programs on television, including a week-long special on brand building for IT and internet companies called Brand IT on CNBC's Asia. Mr. Indrajit has also been invited by academic institutions such as Symbiosis, NIFT, Tempo College, GBG amongst others as an industry resource to help the students in career crafting of their career crafting. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request Mr. Indroneil Mukherjee to share his expertise.
Thank you very much. Should I say good afternoon or good morning? Good afternoon. Before I start, I would like to respect the time that you have taken out from your daily schedule. I know we are running behind schedule. So, I can speak for 5 minutes and convey my message. Or I can speak for 45 minutes and convey my message in a way that there might be something for you to work upon. You tell me, for how much time do you think I should speak? Which includes a lot of interaction with you, by the way. I don't like speaking myself. So, may I hear some voices? 5, 10, 20, 40 minutes. 40 minutes? There seems to be something brought up out there. Anyway, we'll take it offline. Thank you so much. It's an August occasion for me. I don't think I've seen so many academicians and educationists in one room. I think one more fan will be good to switch on because I think we are getting warmed up to what the theme is. So one more fan in the back because it's becoming a little suffocated. Can you switch it on? If you notice, the theme is, like my friend Rajesh talked about, something to do with horticulture and all that. You might be wondering, we educationists, why are we being talked about horticulture? Are you? Are you? Well, when I was invited here to speak, I was invited here to speak to share what are the industry's trends as an industry resource. But over the, I would say about 3 decades, 30 years of journey, I think the boundaries have got fuzzed somewhere. I can't say that I'm just an industry resource. I'm an industry resource. I'm a life-giving resource. So, the invitation, okay, industry trend. What is the industry trend? Do you know that? One line industry trend, there aren't any jobs. Trust me. It's going to become worse as we move towards the time when we get to see the demographic so-called dividend, which is 2022 or 2020. So one line, there aren't any jobs. However, having said that, there are careers. Should you people take the role of a horticulturist? Should you people with a lot of care and compassion, promise to nurture the seed that every individual brings in. It's not about science, commerce, arts. Trust me, I'm going to share, here's a case study, I'm going to share that case study. It's not about that. It's about the seed and the promise that the seed holds. And you know what business, therefore, you will be getting into, or you are already into? It's the orchard. Because the industry does not want polished apples. I'm saying this very, very bluntly. No wonder finishing schools are not doing so well. They want to see inside out, organically, how wonderful the apple is smelling, tasting, looking. Most importantly, it's without worms. Right? So, I just want to set your expectations right. I am not going to talk about if you study this, so you might get this course. No, you will not get it. So that's a confirmation for your students. But I'm going to take you through an inside-out view of how you can craft career for all those dynamites that get admitted in your college. But before I do that, I would like to have a quick understanding of the horticulturists out here. How many seeds are there with you? Can you quickly share some? How many students from different colleges? How many?
325.
325. Wow. Can you imagine? Every apple seed has hidden in it a potential of an orchard. Right? Okay. 325. Yes. Any more? 350. Wow. Fantastic. Do you see how rich you are? Potentially rich you are? Yeah? Yeah. Any more? Where is the 250? Yeah. Okay. And don't bother what your college is all about. MBA, technology, offbeat, liberal arts, whatever. Thank you, Rajesh. It was a brilliant presentation. You kind of set the context for me. Don't bother about what it is. I'm going to talk about seed to sprout to a fragrant flower and then a blooming orchard. Anything else? Any other 500 kind of rich?
1,000 students, more than 1,000.
Ma'am, I'm going to come to you. Fantastic. I'm feeling very glad that I'm in this company. Before I start, let me take you through some of the writings on the wall. And these are very recent clips, so I'm sure you wouldn't have missed them. There was a time when India was talking about the fact, hey, you know, the entire baby boomers population in the developed countries is going to retire, and birth rates, any which are low, and we are great historically in birth rates, and in terms of workforce or working class will be the highest in 2020 and 2022, right? Therefore, the assumption was that most of the jobs from the West will move down to India, and well, you know, it's all orchards, okay? But you know what's happening. You know what's happening to the economy. You know what's happening to some of the other developing countries and what they are doing. So it may not be so hunky-dory. More importantly, I was in touch with, have you heard of NSDC?
Yes.
Skills Development Corporation. I was in touch with the managing director about a month back. So what are they talking about? 500 million jobs by 2020. I was talking to him on the call and I said, so how many have you been able to line up? And he said, none. Trust me, my friends, the saddest part is we don't know how we get jobs for people. We don't know that. We are trying like mad, you know, in a frenzy. Number one, we don't know. Number two, I don't know whether I really want to know. So it's a mad race. Some hit and run, some brilliant student, any which way you put him anywhere, not student, a brilliant individual will land up a job, but you know, the middle and most importantly the bottom 10%, nobody knows what's going to happen. Somebody also says that we are going back to the future, that the job of choice in the 2020s would be agriculture. Of course, technology. Now, I don't know, I can't vouch for this. I'm talking of what the news and the trend says. I'm sure all of you know this. And you know the surprising things, MBA colleges outside of urban areas are doing better in terms of employability. I'm going to share with you, it was like in 2006, 2007, there were about 260 freshers a BPO had hired, out of which close to 50% were MBAs. And I was asked to take them through something called a boot camp for 1 month, so that they become not only employable, but scalable and retainable. And when I say employability, mark you, today the industry is also in their own cute ways trying to sense, is this guy scalable? Or is he going to get stuck into that position? 2, how do I protect my cost of recruitment? Therefore, is he retainable? So, going back to that story, they went through that. It was a painful 1 month for most of them, because they were like headless chickens moving all over. After that 1 month, we did an evaluation and we qualified some people who would go on the floor. Guess how many of them stayed back after 6 months? Out of 260?
0.
Huh?
That's right.
It's exactly this, the 10%. So, I don't believe much in these data because there are different methods by which to do it. But here I have a gut feel that this is right perhaps, because nothing much has changed from then to now. I think it was sometime in December, or was it November last year, I was with one of the premier MBA colleges doing career crafting and some bit of pre-placement counseling for them. Number who were supposed to go for placement, I said very clearly, there are about 20, 23 of them who can give it a go. So, this is something I want you to be very clear about. Nobody knows, or perhaps we know. We'll talk about it as we go forward. What could be the reason?